If you're a Spurs fan, Game 2 should terrify you. Not because the Spurs got blown out, not because Wemby played badly, not because San Antonio was not competitive. It's actually the opposite. The Spurs got almost everything they wanted. They got home court, they got a desperate must-win atmosphere, they got a huge Wemby game, and they got a Knicks team that nearly blew a 14-point lead. They got several controversial whistles and somehow they still lost. That's why I think Game 2 may have been the most important game of this entire series, and the result could not have been any worse for San Antonio. Let's be honest, heading into Game 2, all the pressure was on the Spurs. Lose Game 1, fine, that happens. Lose Game 2 at home, now you're staring at an 0-2 deficit before ever stepping foot in Madison Square Garden. So the Spurs came out exactly the way that you would expect. More aggressive, more physical, more desperate. The crowd was electric, the energy was different, and for long stretches, they looked like the better team. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, because Knicks fans like myself were losing their minds watching this game. The officiating became one of the biggest talking points almost immediately, and here's the crazy part. The NBA has already rescinded Mitchell Robinson's technical foul from Game 2, meaning the league itself reviewed the play afterward and decided that the technical should never have been called. Think about that. In a 1-point finals game, 1 point, the technical free throw counted and the Knicks still survived. That's the part that people keep forgetting. You can be frustrated with the officiating, you can disagree with calls, but at the end of the day, the Knicks overcame it anyway, and that matters because championship teams do not spend their time waiting for perfect circumstances. They find ways to win despite imperfect circumstances. Now let's give San Antonio credit where it's due because they absolutely punched back in the fourth quarter. The Knicks built a 14-point fourth quarter lead around the 6-minute mark, and at that moment it felt pretty much over, and honestly I was already thinking about Game 3. Then suddenly everything changed. The Spurs ripped off a 14-0 run, the crowd exploded, the momentum completely flipped, and for a few minutes it looked like the Knicks were about to throw the biggest game away from the season. This is where a lot of teams panic, this is where a lot of teams fold, and this is where a lot of teams start forcing bad shots. The Knicks did not do that though. Because here is what stood out to me. New York never looked rattled, not when the lead disappeared, not when the crowd got loud, and not when the momentum shifted, and also not when the game became complete chaos. They stayed composed, and that's exactly what Jalen Brunson has brought to this team. That's exactly what Mike Brown has preached all season. The Knicks did not play perfectly, but they never stopped believing that they could win, and that's a championship trait. Now let's talk about the sequence that everybody is going to remember. A tie game, final seconds, Spurs have the ball, the arena is ready to win, and all San Antonio needs is one clean possession, one good shot, one smart decision. Instead, what happens is a disaster. Wemby grabbed the rebound and pushed the ball up the floor, then came the miscommunication. The pass hit Stephon Castle in the back. Jalen Brunson read it perfectly at the right time. The Knicks got the steal, Brunson drew the foul and made the go-ahead free throw. And although he did miss the second free throw, the game already changed. The Knicks had a 1-point lead, and here's why that's so important. That wasn't talent, that was not athleticism, that was experience, that was composure, and that was understanding the moment. And this is where I think the Spurs' youthfulness finally showed up. Not for the whole game, not even for most of the fourth quarter, but in the biggest possession of the night, a crucial one. Wembanyama admitted afterward that he messed up and he needed more poise and control in that moment. Stephon Castle did not see the pass, the communication broke down, the moment became too fast, and against a veteran team like New York, one mistake is enough. That's all it takes. One possession, one turnover, and one missed opportunity. And honestly, one guy who deserves way more credit is Mikal Bridges, because while everybody is focused on Brunson and Wembanyama, Bridges quietly kept New York alive throughout the game. He scored 20 points and added 6 rebounds and 6 assists of his own. And he carried the offense during stretches when Brunson and Towns were off the floor. Those are the performances that win championships. Not flashy, not viral, just winning basketball. Now the series shifts to Madison Square Garden, and here's why Spurs fans should be concerned. Game 2 felt like their opportunity, a desperate home game, a 1-point game, a late lead and momentum, crowd, and everything they had going on for them, and they still couldn't finish the game. Now they have to walk into the loudest arena in basketball down 0-2, and against a Knicks team that suddenly looks incredibly comfortable in close games, that's not where you want to be at all. That's why I think Knicks fans should feel incredibly encouraged today. Not because the Knicks played a perfect game, they did not. Not because everything went their way, it also didn't. Not because they dominated, because they definitely did not. The reason Knicks fans should be encouraged is simple. The Spurs got almost everything they wanted in Game 2, and the refs were on their side, and the Knicks still found a way to win. And when a team starts winning games like that, that's when championships start feeling real. So what impressed you more in Game 2? Surviving the officiating, surviving the Spurs comeback, or surviving Wemby's huge night? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and sub to the channel for more Knicks news and updates you will not want to miss. It's been KNYT here, and I'll see you guys in the next one.